My first job, after leaving high school without graduating, was washing dishes in the back of a small hotel. This was the first of a series of laboring jobs, stacking lumber in a sawmill, digging wells, working on farms and ranches, putting nuts on bolts in a factory production line that occupied me for the first few years of my so-called career. The turning point in my life was when I discovered the law of cause and effect, the great law of the universe and human destiny. I learned that everything happens for a reason. I discovered that success is not an accident. Failure is not an accident either. I also discovered that people who are successful in any area are usually those who have learned the cause and effect relationships between what they wanted and how to get it. They then did repeatedly what other successful people did in a particular area until they got the same results. This insight changed my life. Here's the bottom line. You can learn anything you need to learn to achieve any goal you can set for yourself. There are no real limits except the limits you place on yourself and on your own potential. You see, no one is really better than you, and no one is really smarter than you. They just may be better or smarter in different ways, at least for the present. If someone is doing better than you are today, it's probably because he or she has discovered the cause and effect relationships before you have. And anything that anyone else has done within limits, you can do as well. The fact that someone else has achieved a worthy goal is the very best proof that you can achieve that goal as well. Just do what they have done until you get the same result that they have gotten. The world is full of people who are deluding themselves into thinking that they can do what failures do, and somehow, by some miracle, they're going to get the results that successful people get. Even worse, they think that they can do little or nothing at all, and by some great stroke of luck, all their problems will be solved and their dreams will come true. But this is not the way the world works. Wolfgang von Goethe, the German philosopher, once wrote, "To have more, you must first be more. To achieve more in your outer world, you must go to work on your inner world and on developing yourself. There are no lasting shortcuts. There is no other way." Personal and professional development is the most powerful tool that you can use to achieve any goal you can set for yourself. You can move yourself from wherever you are to wherever you want to go by simply learning how others have done it before you, and then by following the paths that they have already blazed. You've heard it said that the average person uses only 10% of his or her potential. According to the Stanford Brain Institute, however, it is actually closer to 2%. The average person has enormous reserves of potential that he or she habitually fails to use. Nature is exceedingly generous. She provides each person with an abundance of abilities and possibilities, most of which go untapped throughout life. If you were to use only a small additional percentage of your inborn capabilities, you could probably double and triple your results. You could accomplish things far beyond anything that you have ever done up to now. You could be healthier, happier, and more prosperous than you've ever imagined. Abraham Maslow once wrote that the story of the human race is the story of men and women selling themselves short. Most people settle for far less than they are truly capable of. Most people create all kinds of justifications and rationalizations for poor performance. They convince themselves or allow themselves to be convinced on the flimsiest evidence that they lack the potential and ability of other people who are temporarily doing better than they are. They then settle for a mediocre existence rather than committing themselves to breaking their own mental shackles and escaping from their own mental prisons. When you see a person like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you do not dismiss his muscular development by attributing it to luck or genetics. You know that he has worked for many years and invested thousands of hours to develop himself physically. But does Arnold Schwarzenegger have a single muscle in his body that, you don't have in your body? The fact is that every male is born with 610 muscles. Women, of course, are different. Every man starts off with the same muscular structure that Arnold Schwarzenegger started off with as a skinny teenager growing up in Graz, Austria. The only difference is that Arnold Schwarzenegger has developed his muscles and the average person has not. In terms of mental ability and potential, most people are quite similar. Everyone has the same brain structure. Everyone has a variety of potential talents and abilities. Some people may start off with greater natural advantages and personal endowments, but on average, each person has the ability to develop himself far beyond anything he's achieved so far.